Once you have something that's different and that is pulling people in and creating buzz in the community, they're going to want to come back year over year, and that's only going to raise more money and more awareness for your mission.
Welcome to the Impact Roadmap, a podcast designed to give you the practical, concrete steps to grow your nonprofit or future-forward business in a sustainable way. I'm your host, Joey Goone. Let's get into the episode.
Hi, I am Meagan Sweeney-Hyde, and today we are on the Impact Roadmap podcast, and I have our very own Jordan with us. And Jordan, I wanted to just ask you some questions about your experience with Utopia and how long you've been here and what brought you here.
Yeah, okay, I'll try and give you the short story. So one of our current clients, Mizzouthon, was actually an organization that I was really involved with when I was at Mizzou. And working as a main event director, we just kind of stumbled upon Utopia, found them, and they came out and produced the main event for us in 2018. And after that event was over, I reached out to Joey and I said, hey, this is a really cool, you guys are awesome. How do I do what you do? And he's like, why don't you come into the office? Let's talk after you graduate. So a month later, I was in Utopia's office 3 days after graduation, and I've been here ever since.
Wow. So you really have started and grown your career path from Utopia.
100%.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time that I met you. It was when I was with Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and I was sitting across the table with you and Joey, and I just remember the first time I met you guys and you guys talking about Utopia. And so tell me, gosh, and again, that was 2018.
Yeah.
So tell me you've grown so much in your career since then. What are some things that have really helped you learn things about events and brought you to where you're at today?
Totally. I think it's so funny because I have such a vivid memory of being in that room and talking, and I was just what is happening? Joey pulled me in. He's like, hey, come to this meeting with me. We're going to try and get this business. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is so scary. What is happening? But if Joey is good at one thing, it is getting people out of their comfort zones, which I think everybody needs a little bit.
Certainly.
So when I first started at Utopia, we had kind of started dipping our toes into the nonprofit world, but a lot of our focus and a lot of our events were still in that entertainment world, which we still do a lot of today. But I think Mizzouthon, and when I came on board, that kind of, I don't know if it necessarily started, but it certainly helped the shift into focusing more on nonprofits and corporate clients. So in the last 5 years, I've kind of gone from helping with our website and social media and doing a little bit of that stuff, helping to write blogs, to working with our private event clients, to then kind of taking the reins in our nonprofit and corporate clients, really helping them with event planning, event management, and just kind of being their friend along the journey of events.
Yeah. What would you say now that your role is shifting a little bit more? What is your favorite part about event planning?
I think one of my favorite things that I tell people when they ask, what's your favorite thing about Utopia? And I think one of the things that I always say is that every day is different. So today we're filming a podcast. Yesterday I was in meetings almost all day. So every day is different and every event is different. So I love that even if I'm doing the same kind of tasks day to day, I'm working with different people. They're planning different types of events. So it always keeps things really exciting and engaging. And I think that not only helps me, but it also helps our clients because we can take and pull things from, hey, this event did this and it worked really, really well. Have you ever considered trying a photo booth or trying, doing an intro like this? So we've been able to really help our organizations because we work with so many different types of people.
Right. So this year, it's 2024 now. You've been with the organization since 2018. What are you the most excited for?
I am the most excited for the new events we have going on this year. I think the new people, we just brought on Meagan, and she's been such a key player already. I mean, you've only been here for what, a month, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
We're bringing on a couple new people in the next few months. So there are a lot of changes happening internally, which is super exciting. People with different backgrounds. I think bringing in fresh blood, fresh ideas always just gives us a better opportunity to help serve our clients and our organizations. And we've really started this year dipping our toes into the event planning piece, which while we've kind of always helped with the logistic aspect, working with our nonprofits when it comes to timeline and vendor coordination, this is definitely a new beast that we're taking on. And I'm really excited to start working with some of these larger corporate clients, these conferences, multi-day events in the event planning world.
How exciting.
Yeah.
So say that you are just now graduating from college. It's
Okay.
2018, Jordi. What is one advice and tip that you would give to that individual that wants to get into the event planning?
Yeah, I think for me, event planning was always something, and I love here at Utopia where we handle a lot of the, big picture things. And while I said I'm really excited to dive more into the event coordination and the planning, I love that we're doing the production piece, the big picture. I've always loved that. But I mean, I even remember back in high school, I was always the friend that was, okay, for homecoming, we're going to go to dinner here, and this is the plan. So I've always been that person. And I think knowing that that was a strength of mine, that was something that I enjoy, being able to turn that into what I do for a living has been awesome. So I think it's, finding what you love, finding what types of events you love, and reaching out to the local community, getting involved. I had internships, and even before then, partnering with nonprofits that I would just get to be involved in their events and see how that world worked, and I loved it.
Awesome.
We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but tell me a little bit about, what was your favorite part of working with the last organizations that you worked with their events, and then I'll have more questions after that.
Yeah, I always say that the nonprofit field found me more than I found it, and really it was through events. So one of the things that really just drove me and really encouraged me all throughout my nonprofit career path was just how amazing our community truly is, especially in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. We are so philanthropic, and to get everyone to come together for a cause and for a mission and to make a difference, that's really what always moved me, is you can just really see what can happen when you get a group of like-minded individuals together that have the same goal and what we can accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's really, and working in some of my previous roles, some things that I've always really, at the end of the day and at the end of event, what really always gave me the warm and fuzzies and always drove me to do more.
Absolutely. I love that. Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite event that you have been a part of?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Or maybe not necessarily a favorite, but one that sticks out.
Yeah, I would say it was probably one of the first galas I ever ran. It was a competition-based fundraiser, and to see, again, the whole collective group come together and to raise money. At the end, there were winners, but everyone was so proud of each other and the group goal to come together for that. I would say that was my favorite one. I learned so much about events, so much about campaigns and galas, and then all throughout that, then transferring on to walks and endurance events. But again, having the end of event where knowing that everyone came together and we all collectively, as a community, as a group, met that goal. And, this is in memory of a lot of loved ones, or an honor, or a kiddo that's on the stage, and to know that we all care about you and we're here for you. At the end of that, to know that everyone made that goal and that these funds are going to go and make a difference. I would say that's my favorite one. Now, I guess that's not pinpointed to just one, but I would say it would be this one gala that it was competition based, and it was a lot of fun, because that's one thing about competition based fundraising is that you really pull a muscle in fundraising, and people are going to make those asks and really stretch their database and their peer-to-peer group more if there's a little bit of that competition base to it. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I love that. So what led you to Utopia and, working now with multiple organizations instead of just one?
Yeah. Well, again, I've seen the growth of Utopia really since, again, sitting in the room with you in 2018 and, following what you guys are doing on social media and all the events that you guys are doing and the difference that you're making. And you're really alongside a lot of these partners and helping them raise money, taking that burden and the stress off of event management that are fundraisers is part of that whole process in order to help us all collectively make that goal. So that was one thing, to be in events and to be, a fundraising having that expertise, but also from that event side.
Okay, so similar to the last question that you asked me, I'm going to turn the tables on you a little bit. If there is a nonprofit watching this, or really, anyone planning an event thinking, okay, what is something I can do to make my event different, unique, or just maybe something that they haven't thought about? What is a piece of advice that you would give someone watching this?
Yeah, and this is where it's hard as a nonprofit, because you wear so many hats, right? You have to raise money, you have to plan an event, you have to also make sure that your event is relevant, you have the social media and the awareness piece. I think my biggest advice is really to delegate out if you can. As a fundraiser, you can have the best event, but if you're not making your goal, that doesn't matter. But if you're making an amazing event and an unforgettable experience and meeting your goal at the same time, it's a win-win across the board. Because once you have something that's different and that is pulling people in and creating buzz in the community, they're going to want to come back year over year, and that's only going to raise more money and more awareness for your mission. So again, that's why when I just saw all of the great things that Utopia is doing and giving that extra white glove service, that I want to be a part of that, because I know that we're alongside you to help you raise money and to be a part of that and make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in. You guys learned a little bit more about myself, about Meagan, and our journeys, how we found Utopia. And we hope that you will tune in to the next episode of Impact Roadmap.
Hey, if this episode was valuable to you, then share it with someone that you love, someone that you know that could benefit from it. Also, be sure to subscribe, and depending on how you're listening, go ahead and leave a comment or review. This will help ensure that we are connecting with other nonprofit leaders so that we can get this critical information out to them. And if your company is in the early or even late stages of putting on an event, go to our website, utopiaexperience.com, and click the Book Us tab and schedule a free discovery call to see if our services would be a right fit for your event. And even if they're not, that's okay. I promise you our expertise can steer you in the right direction, so you'll get value either way. Thanks for listening to the Impact Roadmap, and we'll see you next time.